Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
There are several
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Tusculum University and Red Edmonds Field for South Atlantic Conference softball doubleheader action today between the Tusculum Pioneers and the Anderson Trojans. I'm Jim Miller. I'll be along with you for Game 1 of today's doubleheader between the Pioneers and the Trojans. Both teams coming in with 0-2 records. Tusculum losing a tough doubleheader sweep at the hands of Catawba on Saturday, falling 3-2 in Game 1, and then 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth, giving the Indians a 6-5 extra inning victory in Game 2 of that twin bill. Meanwhile, Anderson comes in at losers of 4 straight. They lost a doubleheader at Newberry on Saturday by scores of 7-6 and 5-3. Anderson is 16-10 overall, 0-2 in the conference. Tusculum 12-8 and 0-2 in the conference. Game 1 of our doubleheader today, the starting lineups are being introduced for Anderson. They'll lead off with the center fielder, Megan Majeski. Casey Grant at second base bats second. Jocelyn Martin, the first baseman, hits third. Maddie Hamilton, the catcher, hits fourth. Kason Boatner batting fifth, the designated player. Morgan Charter, the shortstop, hits sixth. Sydney Belcher, the left fielder, hits seventh. Brianna Haggerty at third base hits eighth. And Gracie Williams in right field will bat ninth. Pitching for Anderson in Game 1 is Harley Duncan, the sophomore right-hander. Tusculum starting lineup today, Sammy West will lead off at shortstop, Taylor Battle in left field bats second, Emily Hester at first base hits third, Alexis Gramp, the center fielder, hits fourth, Grayson Brown, the designated player, batting fifth, Taylor Johnson at third base hits sixth, and Alloway in right field hitting seventh. Emma Casey, the catcher, bats eighth, and Brittany France, the second baseman, will bat ninth, with Ivy Richardson in the circle in Game 1 for the Pioneers. Richardson, a sophomore, 5'8", out of Philadelphia, Tennessee. Anderson coached by Tommy Hewitt in his 14th season. Lots of success with the Trojans. Some conference championships along the way. He is assisted by Abby Child, a former Anderson standout player. What a great hitter she was with the Trojans during her career, and she's in her second season as assistant coach. Tusculum coached by Julie Hubner, her 7th season. Assistant coaches Aaron Porter and Allison Van Atta, both in their first season. Sunny skies today here at Red Edmonds Field. 53 degrees will be game time temperature. Winds listed at 4 miles an hour to right field, although the flag out in center field right now is currently hanging limp. No chance of rain today. It's going to be a nice day for softball action here in Greenville. We'll pause at this time for the national anthem.
As we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem.
She comes on like a rose, but everybody...
Our national anthem prior to the start of softball action today here at Red Edmonds Field. We'll get started a few minutes late. Apparently the umpires had trouble getting into their locker room before the game, so we'll start at about 3:10. We'll get going here is Ivy Richardson in the circle in Game 1 for the Pioneers. Richardson making her 11th appearance, her 5th start of the year. She's 4-2 with a 1.97 earned run average. Richardson has thrown 1 complete game. She's pitched 32 innings this season, allowed 29 hits, 9 earned runs, 13 strikeouts, and 5 walks. Opponents hitting .227 against Ivy Richardson. Her defense around the outfield from left to right, Taylor Battle in left, Alexis Gramp getting the start in center field, and Anna Alloway over in right field. Around the infield, Taylor Johnson at third base, Sammy West, the shortstop, Brittany France at second, and Emily Hester over at first. Catching in Game 1 for the Pioneers is Emma Casey. Tusculum won their last home doubleheader last Wednesday, beating Bloomsburg 9-5 and 11-9. Pioneers with a 9-3 record here at Red Edmonds Field this season. Richardson, this is her 6th career start, 5-2 career record, a 3.88 earned run average. She's pitched 39 2/3 innings in her first year plus with the Pioneers.
Leading off for Anderson, the center fielder.
Richardson's last start for the Pioneers was on Saturday at Catawba. She went 4 innings and allowed 2 runs, 1 of them earned. First pitch of the game is hit in front of the circle and thrown away at first base. It's going to be a hit and an error as Richardson threw the ball away. So that'll be a base hit for the leadoff batter, Megan Majeski, and it'll be an error on Tusculum pitcher Ivy Richardson to allow her to get to second base.
Second baseman, Casey Grant.
Casey Grant, the second baseman, will bat. Grant hitting .292 on the season, a home run, 10 runs batted in. Majeski was hitting .345 coming into this game. Grant may be called upon to sacrifice here. Richardson's pitch to her is pop foul, 1 strike. Grant, a senior out of Comer, Alabama, 5'9". And she is down in the count, 1 strike. Richardson with the wind and the 0-1 pitch. It's bunted in front of the circle. Richardson has it this time. Throw on to first with second baseman France covering is in time for the out. That's a sacrifice to move the runner Majeski over to third, where with 1 out, it'll bring up the first baseman Jocelyn Martin. Martin, the leading hitter on the team at .407. A home run, 18 runs batted in. Martin, a left-handed batter. Senior out of Fountain Inn, South Carolina. Chops this one up the middle. West to her left. Throw across is not in time. The run was going to score anyway. Instead, it'll be an infield single for Jocelyn Martin, and it's a quick 1-0 Anderson lead. So 1-0 Trojans.
Number 7.
And the catcher, Maddie Hamilton, will bat. Hamilton hitting .375 on the year, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in, just her 12th start of the season. For the junior out of Perry, Georgia. That first pitch is in there for a strike. Hamilton got in the lineup full time starting at the beginning of the month. He recently had a 7-game hitting streak come to an end with an 0-for-4 at Newberry on Saturday. She lines out one to center field. Gramp went in, and now the ball's over her head. It's going to go all the way back to the fence. Steaming around third is Martin. She's going to get the wave home from Coach Hewitt, and sliding in safely is Martin with the second run of the inning and a 2-0 Anderson lead. That ball was a line drive to center, and Gramp, who is normally the Pioneers' starting right fielder, took a step in, and then the ball went over her head all the way back to the fence as the ball off the bat. Again, Gramp,
player, number 18, Casey
tall
Butler.
at 5'10", might have had a chance to try and reach up and grab that ball, but the ball was hit too hard as Hamilton knocks in her 16th run of the season with her 4th 2-base hit of the year. And it's 2-0 Trojans. Batter is the designated player, Kaysen Boatner. Boatner hitting .403 on the year, 8 home runs, and 30 runs batted in. Boatner's 8 home runs tied for third in the conference. The 30 runs batted in are second in the league. 1 ball and no strikes. Richardson with the wind, the 1-0 pitch. Popped up, shallow center field, out to get it is France, and she makes the catch for the out. So out on the pop-up is Bodner, 2 down here in the inning, and it'll bring up the shortstop Morgan Charter. Charter hitting .352 on the season. 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Charter, a freshman out of Shiloh, Georgia. Bodner, also a freshman in this starting lineup. Gracie Williams, the right fielder, also a freshman. Hitting a hole in left field, it's a base hit. Battle charges it, bobbles it, can't pick it up, as coming around to score is going to be Hamilton. It's 3-0 Anderson. So 3-0 here in the first, as an RBI single by Morgan Charter, her 15th RBI of the year, as Hamilton crosses the plate. So not a good start here for the Pioneers, as they're in an early 3-0 hole. The batter now is going to be the left fielder Sydney Belcher. Belcher hitting .286, no home runs, 17 RBIs. First pitch to her is hit slowly towards short. West charges, her throw across is in time, and the inning is over. But for Anderson in the first, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. Half inning complete, it's Anderson 3, Tusculum nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
There are several benefits that come along with our newly accredited ACBSP status for the College of Business programs. Among those is an instilled sense of confidence for parents and students. This includes our quality and credentialed faculty. This includes our strategic plan going forward, and the fact that we take into account outside feedback from students and stakeholders when designing our future programs.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Hello.
Bottom of the first inning here at Red Emmons Field, Tusculum down 3-0 to Anderson. Pioneer starting lineup, Sammy West, the shortstop, leads off. Taylor Battle, the left fielder, hits second. Emily Hester at first base bats third. Alexis Gramp in center field hitting fourth. Grayson Brown, the designated player, bats fifth. Taylor Johnson at third base hits sixth. Anna Alloway, the right fielder, batting seventh. Emma Casey, the catcher, hits eighth. And Brittany France, the second baseman, hitting ninth. They'll face right-hander Harley Duncan. Duncan, her 14th start of the season. 9 wins, 3 losses, a 2.68 earned run average. 81 innings, 55 hits, and 31 earned runs. She's walked 38, struck out 72 batters on the year, has Harley Duncan, which puts her tied for 4th in the conference heading into play today. The first pitch to Sammy West is taken high for a ball, 1-0. West hitting .364, a home run, 12 runs batted in. Duncan is a sophomore, 5'10", out of Tolona, Illinois. And now coming over to discuss things with her is Martin. West, .364 average, leads the Pioneers in hitting. She has been hot as of late. She went 4 for 5 against Bloomsburg in Game 2 of that doubleheader last Wednesday. Just 1 for 7 in the twin bill against Catawba. She did score 2 runs. Now we're having a discussion here over possible illegal pitches. Haven't seen one called yet, but giving Duncan some tidbits here. And now we're going to have a discussion as Coach Hewitt comes out to find out what's being told to his pitcher. So Harley Duncan getting the start here in Game 1. Anderson's only used 2 starting pitchers this season. Kayla Pepper will likely, almost certainly, start Game 2 of this doubleheader. Pepper, a left-hander. Duncan has thrown 11 complete games in 13 starts. And now the discussion appears to have broken. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Sammy West. Duncan's last start against Newberry on Saturday in Game 1 of that doubleheader. She lost 7-6, allowed 7 runs, 10 hits in 6 2/3 innings. Before that, she had won her last 3 starts. In that game, Newberry scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. A 3-run walk-off home run by Hannah Davis with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th gave Newberry that win in Game 1 of that doubleheader. 3 balls and a strike to count to West. That pitch is outside ball 4, and Sammy West draws the walk. Her 9th walk of the season. She is a leadoff base runner for the left fielder, Taylor Battle. Battle hitting .348 on the year, no home runs, 9 runs batted in.
Taylor Battle.
Battle 9 stolen bases to lead the team. The senior out of Chattanooga puts that one foul, 1 strike. Battle with 4 straight 2-hit games. 5 of her last 6 games she's picked up at least 2 hits. She went 5 for 8 combined in the doubleheader against Catawba. So 1 strike to Battle. Swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Taylor Battle. Battle, a career .298 hitter, her 170th career game. 59 career steals, and she goes down on strikes there. The first out of the bottom of the 1st inning. And it'll bring up the first baseman, Emily Hester. Hester hitting .312, 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Hester leading the team with those 5 home runs. 21 career home runs, tied for 2nd in school history. Takes a strike. Hester against Catawba on Saturday, 3 for 8 in that doubleheader. She's hit safely in 5 out of 6. Duncan's pitch, low and in for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hester, the senior out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, 4 years starter for these Pioneers, along with Battle. 1-1 pitch, chop foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Hester with Alexis Gramp waiting on deck. West over at first base, 7 for 7 in stolen bases this season. One and the 1-2 pitch, up and in for a ball, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Hester. Anderson catchers have done well throwing out base runners. They've thrown out 8 out of 24, 1/3, 33%. And that grounder to third might be 2, and it is. A ground double play to end the inning. Haggerty to Grant to Martin to retire the side. So the double play ends that rally for the Pioneers, and they go down in the bottom of the 1st. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. The end of 1, it's Anderson 3, Tusculum 0 on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
You got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
We are in.
Top of the 2nd inning here at Red Edmonds Field with Anderson leading 3-0 as they picked up 3 runs in the 1st inning. RBI singles by Jocelyn Martin, and also by Morgan Charter and an RBI double by Maddie Hamilton, giving the Trojans the quick 3-0 lead. The Pioneers will have to work from behind. Saturday in that doubleheader against Catawba, Tusculum scored in the top of the first inning of both games. They wound up losing them both, so maybe that's an omen. Other games today in the South Atlantic Conference. Queens beats Catawba 9-4 in Game 1 of their doubleheader in Charlotte. So Queens now 2-1 in the conference. Catawba also 2-1. Martinsville leads Kings 6-2 in the 6th inning of a non-conference doubleheader. And Newberry playing Wingate this afternoon.
The third baseman, number 16,
at
Brianna
Wingate.
Haggerty.
And the score update there, as we wait for the stats to pop up. And we keep waiting. Let's start the inning, as the leadoff hitter of the inning for Anderson is going to be Brianna Haggerty, the third baseman. Haggerty hitting .232, a home run, 13 runs batted in. Richardson ready to go. The first pitch hit to third, knocked down and gloved by Johnson. Low throw, scooped by Hester. And one pitch and one out here in the second.
The right fielder, number 1, Gracie Williams.
Quick start to the inning, and now it'll bring up the right fielder, Gracie Williams. Williams hitting .245, no home runs, 2 runs batted in. Williams, a freshman out of Belton, South Carolina. And the number 9 hitter in the Trojan lineup. The first pitch to her is taken for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Gracie Williams. Richardson with the wind and the pitch. Loop to center field. Grant charges. She'll play it on the hop. It'll be a base hit for Gracie Williams. 5th hit of the game for the Trojans. And they'll turn the lineup over to the center fielder, Megan Majeski. Majeski reached on a bunt single
12,
and
Megan
scored
Majeski.
in the first. Majeski, the leadoff hitter in the lineup, a junior out of Simpsonville, South Carolina. She will step in here against Richardson for the second time. Pitch is low and in for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Megan Majeski. Majeski, a career .369 hitter. She hit .376 exactly in each of her first 2 seasons at Anderson. This pitch is low and in for a ball, 2-0. Majeski also with 61 career stolen bases in 64 attempts. Just 2 extra base hits. She now has 145 career hits. Just 2 of them for extra bases. She had a triple as a freshman and a double this season. Typical of the slap hitting style. We're geared towards bunts and bouncers that you can use your speed to get hits. And it certainly worked for her. 2-0 the count to Majeski. And she slaps that one foul left side. 2 balls and a strike. Majeski's hitless in her last 2 games. She was 0 for 5 in the doubleheader against Newberry on Saturday. Before that, she had hit safely in 5 in a row. Two balls and a strike, the count to Majeski. Richardson with the wind and the pitch. Slap to left center field. That is going to drop in for a base hit. Cut off by Battle. Big turnaround second by Williams, and she has to scurry back safely as Battle got the throw into West. And Williams looked like she was thinking about heading to third, but she had to slam on the brakes and dive back in safely. But it's back-to-back singles for the Trojans. They now have 6 hits in the first 2 innings. And they have runners at first and second, 1 out for Casey Grant, the second baseman, who sacrificed her first time up. So more threat here for these Trojans in the second. pitch to Grant. Line to left, that'll be foul, 1 strike. Grant has started every single game of her career with Anderson. This is her 125th start today. Career .318 hitter with 7 home runs. Also 44 stolen bases, so between Majeski and Grant, both players, a lot of speed at the top of the lineup. 1 strike to Casey Grant. Richardson's pitch. Change up on the outside corner, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Grant. Williams on at second, Majeski at first with 1 out. Richardson ready with the 0-2 pitch. And Grant reaches out, flicks 1 foul, still 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, the count holds to Casey Grant. Richardson winds and deals. Up and in, a hitter. Grant gets hit by the pitch. She'll take first base, and that loads the bases. That one got her up towards the helmet area, and she walks that one off down the first base line. Fortunately, Grant wears a face guard in addition to the helmet, which protected any potential damage from that pitch. Instead, she'll take first base. That is the 5th time this year she's been hit by a pitch. And Tusculum coach Julie Hubner makes the trip to the circle to discuss matters as Pioneers in a tough situation right now with the bases loaded, 1 out, trailing 3-0. And it's the heart of the Anderson order coming to the plate. Jocelyn Martin, the scheduled batter. She's singled home a run her first time up. Pioneers will be back home on Saturday for a South Atlantic Conference doubleheader with Newberry. The first pitch will be 1 o'clock here at Red Edmonds Field. We will have video coverage of that doubleheader for you. The next Wednesday, the team will head across the mountain to take on the Lions of Mars Hill. At the Pioneers' next 2 road trips, short ones, will go to Mars Hill. And then April 2nd, their next road game will be at Carson Newman. So here's Martin batting with the bases loaded, 1 out. Richardson's pitch to her. Take it for a strike. So Martin batting here in a big spot for these Trojans. Martin with the bases loaded this season, 1 for 5. The 0-1 pitch. Hit to left field. Battle charges. She will not get there as the ball drops in on a dive. And in to score is going to be Williams. That'll be a bloop single and an RBI for Martin, her 2nd of the game. And it's 4-0 Anderson. Martin just popped that one up behind short. Battle was the only one who was going to have a chance to get there. She came in on the sprint and laid out for it, and just out of her reach is in to score the run is Williams. So the base is still loaded with 1 out for the catcher, Maddie Hamilton. Hamilton lined a double to deep center and scored back in the 1st inning. Richardson's pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. So big spot here continues for these Trojans. They still have the bases loaded and 1 out with a run in. Hamilton, 23 career home runs. She's hit 10 home runs each of the her first 2 seasons with the Trojans. And she takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Hamilton, the one they want at the plate in this spot. Been a consistent power hitter for this team. She's only batted once with the bases loaded this year, and she got a hit. Wind up by Richardson in the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, blocked by Casey, and it's 2 balls and a strike. I will resist reporting the fact that Hamilton's one hit with the bases loaded this year was a grand slam, so I didn't say that. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Matty Hamilton. Richardson, ready to work. And the pitch. Inside, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike, nowhere to put her, bases are loaded. Majeski on at third, Grant at second, Martin over at first. Boatner, the designated player who has 8 home runs of her own this season, waits on deck. Anderson leads it 4-0. So Hamilton batting with a 3-1 count. Line by Richardson, the pitch. Hit foul past third, still 3-1. Or check that, 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's activity in the Tusculum bullpen. Looks like Taylor Plemons. Her view is obscured a little bit by the fence and some fans sitting down there. 3-2 the count to Hamilton. Richardson's pitch. Line foul again as both the runner and Coach Hewitt have to skip out of the way of that ball. Full count holds to Hamilton with 1 out. Anderson with 7 hits already in this game. So Richardson will try and get a strikeout here, or possibly a pop-up. 3-2 the count. The pitch. Change up, there's the pop-up. That'll be an infield fly as Hester will squeeze it for the second out. So Richardson got what she needed, the pop-up for the second out of the inning. But she's got 1 more out to go here, and that's going to be the designated player, Kaysen Boatner.
Player number 18, Kaysen Boatner.
Boatner popped up her first time up. At Boatner, the freshman, with 8 home runs already this season. She homered on Saturday against Newberry. The first pitch to her. Inside corner, strike 1. 1 strike to count to Kaysen Boatner, who has driven home 30 runs this season. Will lead the team by a healthy margin. Richardson with the 0-1 pitch. Hit foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes. So Richardson able to get Boatner out in front of that one. It's 3-2, or 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. So Richardson trying to escape with only 1 run allowed, but she's got to get 1 more out and 1 more strike. There's the windup in the pitch. Low and away, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Boatner. So 1-2 the count. Richardson, the wind and the pitch. Outside, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Boatner. Game 1 of this doubleheader. Richardson. The windup and the 2-2 pitch. Change up, got her to pop up. France drifts out onto the outfield grass. She has it lined up and makes the catch. And the inning is over. Could have been a lot worse for the Pioneers. They escape, allowing just 1 run in the inning on 3 hits and the bases left loaded. Middle to second. Anderson 4, Tusculum nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Bottom of the second inning here at Red Emmons Field. Tusculum trailing 4-0. Alexis Gramp will lead off the inning for Tusculum. Gramp, the cleanup hitter, starting in center field today, hitting .293 with 4 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Gramp leads the team in RBIs with 16, leads the team in run score with 21. Also leads the team with 10 walks and has 4 stolen bases. Good numbers for the junior from Harrison, Tennessee, out of Chattanooga Central High School. Played 2 years at Chipola College, where she was an NJCAA All-American. Batting with 1 strike here against right-hander Harley Duncan. Wind up in the pitch to Gramp. Chopped to first. Martin comes off the bag, but she'll be able to get back as Grant makes the flip over in time for the out. Martin came off the bag to try and get the ball, then thought better of it, had Grant backing her up. Martin had enough time to get back to the base for the out.
Designated player, number 30, Grayson Brown.
Grayson Brown, the designated player, will hit. Brown hitting .300, 2 home runs, 7 runs batted in. First pitch is in there for a strike. To Grayson Brown, the junior out of Hickson, Tennessee, Soddy Daisy High School. Attended Cleveland State for 2 years. Making her 15th start of the season. Pitch is high for a ball, 1-1. Brown 1 for 4 at Catawba on Saturday. Pitch to her. Line to right, but making the stab is Grant for the second out. Brown tried to find the hole on the right side, but making the catch is the second baseman Grant for the second out of the inning. The third baseman Taylor Johnson will step up. Johnson hitting .311, 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Johnson, who has started at third base and at catcher for the Pioneers. She was 1 for 7 at Catawba over the weekend. First pitch is low and away for a ball, 1-0 to Taylor Johnson. Johnson, the junior out of Spring Hill, Tennessee, 3-year starter, 130 career hits, 15 career home runs, and a .348 career batting average. 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. Johnson also with 83 career RBIs. Now we have time call. This is an illegal pitch, so make it ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to count now to Taylor Johnson. And Coach Hewitt is going to come out and now have a discussion with the third base umpire after earlier discussion with the first base umpire over the illegal pitches. So we'll have this conversation about that call. Illegal pitch, the penalty is a ball. Runners are on base, the penalty is the same as a balk in baseball. The Pioneers losing a conference tournament game 1 year, 2 years ago. An illegal pitch call with 2 outs in the 7th. Not that we're still bitter about that. So Johnson will step in now with a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Duncan with the line in the pitch. That is high, 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count to Taylor Johnson with Anna Alloway starting in right field, batting next. 3-0 pitch to Johnson. She'll take that outside, ball 4. Johnson draws the walk. She's a 2-out base runner. Second walk issued by Duncan. And the right fielder, Anna Alloway, will bat. Alloway getting the start in right fild today. She's hitting .240, a home run, 9 runs batted in.
For the Pioneers, it's the right fielder, Anna Alloway.
All these horses in my car got me going.
Alloway over the weekend at Catawba, 0 for 6. She lines that one to deep left field. Fair or foul. It is a foul ball. Just foul, as Coach Huebner wanted that home run, but it was foul by probably about 2 feet. She drilled that one to left and just out to the left of that foul pole. 1 strike, the count to Alloway. I was just about to say she homered in the Pioneers' last home game against Bloomsburg on Wednesday. The 0-1 pitch is hit to right center field. Tracking it is Majeski, and she'll get to it in right center field for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left. 2 complete here at Red Emmons Field. It's Anderson 4, Tusculum nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
We are in Granger County,
Off to the
Tennessee.
top of the 3rd inning in Game 1, Anderson leading 4-0. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 batters due for the Trojans, with shortstop Morgan Charter leading off the inning. Ivy Richardson has allowed 4 runs on 7 hits through 2 innings. With no walks and no strikeouts, she did hit 1 batter.
Leading off for Anderson, it's the shortstop, #2, Morgan
Charter, her first time up, singled in the hole to knock in a run. Coming into play, a .352 hitter on the season. So she'll bat here, leading off this top of the 3rd inning. Charter played one of the 2 games at Newberry on Saturday and hit a home run in that game, her 2nd of the season. So she's ready to work, is Ivy Richardson. The first pitch to Charter, line foul, right side, 1 strike. One strike the count to Morgan Charter. She'll be followed by Sydney Belcher and Brianna Haggerty here in the 3rd. Richardson's 0-1 pitch. Chop foul, no balls and 2 strikes. Mars Hill leads King 7-2 in the 7th inning in Game 1 of their doubleheader. So 0-2 the count to Charter. Pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 the count to Charter. As Richardson does not like that softball and tosses it back in to catcher Emma Casey. One and 2 the count as Richardson's ready to work. Winding, and the pitch line down the left field line is a foul ball. Still 1 and 2 the count. To Charter. Charter steps back in. Line up the 1-2 pitch. Changeup called third strike. First strikeout of the game by Richardson. One out here in the third.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 19, Sidney Belcher.
So Sidney Belcher will bat. Belcher grounded out to short to end the first inning. Wind up by Richardson and the first pitch. Change up, strike one. One strike the count to Sidney Belcher, the left fielder for Anderson, a freshman out of Phoenix City, Alabama. She has started all 27 games. 0 for her last 11 at the plate over the last 5 games. The ball's outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to get an update on Wingate and Newberry. The 1-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Belcher. Line by Richardson, the 1-2 pitch. Line foul, still 1-2. So 1-2 the count holds. To Sidney Belcher. Richardson looking for back-to-back strikeouts. He winds the pitch, change up high, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes, the count. Richardson with the wind and the pitch. Inside, full count. Hey, we got an update on Wingate Newberry. They are in the top of the 7th inning, and Wingate leads it 9-3. So, Wingate trying to pick up the win, go to 2-1 in the conference. Newberry, Mars Hill, and Catawba were all unbeaten in conference play at the start of the day. The 3-2 pitch hit to Johnson at third. Long throw across. Off the bag comes Hester, but she applies the tag in time for the out. Second out. Johnson with that strong arm over at third base, and that throw a little bit high, but Hester expertly coming off the bag to make the catch and apply the tag on Belcher for the second out. Brianna Haggerty, third baseman, will bat. Haggerty grounded out her first time up. So Newberry, unless they can pull off a rally here, will lose today. Catawba's already lost, so no matter what happens the rest of today, Mars Hill will be in sole possession of first place in the conference at the end of the day. That one is line foul, 1 strike. Mars Hill is a pretty solid team this year. Not any weak teams in the conference. The ball's in 1 strike, the count to Haggerty. Ivy Richardson trying to complete a 1-2-3 inning. The 0-1 pitch. Change. Did she go? Appeal? Did not go. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Haggerty. Gracie Williams waits on deck. Wingate now leads 9-6 as Newberry's just hit a 3-run homer in the top of the 7th inning. 1-1 pitch is fouled away, 1-2. Which game are you watching? Good multitask. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Haggerty. So Wingate still holding on to the lead over Newberry, 9-6 in the 7th inning. Queens and Catawba, the other doubleheader today. Queens winning game 1 of that by a score of 9-4. 1-2 pitch to Haggerty, line to left. It's deep, it's foul, and it's not out of play, but off the fence that borders the field to the bullpen area. That's Taylor Battle territory down there. That's Death Valley. She has made more. Taylor Battle has to lead the nation in foul outs on foul balls. She'll usually make 1 or 2 catches a game out there. As our broadcast partner PJ Green calls, that's a no-fly zone down there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Haggerty. PJ will be along for game 2 of our doubleheader today between the Pioneers and the Trojans. 2-2 the count to Brianna Haggerty. Richardson rocks and deals. Hit up the middle. Corralled by West, and she can't handle it. That'll be an error on the Pioneers shortstop, Sammy West.
The right fielder, number 1, Gracie Williams.
Now the right fielder, Gracie Williams, will bat. Williams singled and scored her first time up. Wind up by Richardson in the pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. 1 strike to count to Gracie Williams. So Haggerty over at first base, reaching on that error. Hit it hard up the middle, but West got there and just couldn't gather it out of her glove. That one is fouled away, no balls and 2 strikes. Wingate has beaten Newberry. That is a final 9-6 in game 1 of that doubleheader. So Newberry drops to 2-1 in the league now. Wingate now 2-1 as well. Queens is 2-1. Catawba's 2-1. The 0-2 pitch to Williams. Change up, flick back to the screen on the swing by Williams. Still 0-2. So Richardson's still ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Anderson leading 4-0 here in the top of the 3rd inning. Game 1 of 2 here today from Red Edmonds Field. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her. 2nd strikeout of the inning for Richardson. And she sets down Anderson here in the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, and error, 1 left. Middle of the 3rd. It is Anderson 4, Tusculum 0 on the Pioneer Sports Network.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County, you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Red Edmonds Field with Tusculum trailing Anderson 4-0. Anderson's already gone through their lineup twice. Well, for the Pioneers, they'll get their 8, 9, and 1 hitters up here in the 3rd. Emma Casey batting for the first time in the ball game, the starting catcher, hitting .250 on the season, a home run, 9 runs batted in for Emma Casey. Casey, the sophomore out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. Lead off here in the 3rd. First pitch to her is lined to left center field. Majeski tracks it down and makes the catch. Casey hit it good, but hit it to Majeski in center field. She got a good jump on that one and quickly 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Brittany France, the 2nd baseman, will bat. France hitting 306. No home runs, 8 runs batted in. France went 0 for 5 in the doubleheader at Catawba on Saturday, but she went 4 for 6 in the twin bill against Bloomsburg last Wednesday. And she takes a strike on the outside corner. 1 strike to Brittany France, the sophomore out of Knoxville Powell High School. High for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Brittany France. Leadoff hitter Sammy West waits on deck. Duncan's 1-1 pitch, low and outside, 2-1. That ball skipped away from the catcher, Hamilton. Two balls and 1 strike, the count to France. Duncan with the windup, the 2-1 pitch. Hit to center field. Majeski will go to her left this time, and she'll track it down in right center field for the second out of the inning. The last 3 balls the Pioneers have hit have been all in the direction of the center fielder, Megan Majeski. So 2 outs here in the third. The shortstop, Sammy West. West walked her first time up. 1 of 2 walks issued by Duncan, who has struck out just 1 here through 2 2/3 innings. First pitch to West. It's low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Sammy West. Third baseman Haggerty in looking for a bunt as West drives this one to right field. Going back on it is Williams, and she'll get there and make the catch. Well done by the right fielder, Gracie Williams, going back on that drive by West. So a couple hard-hit balls in the inning for the Pioneers, but nothing to show for it. A 1-2-3 inning for Harley Duncan. Finished 3 here at Red Emmons Field in Game 1. It's Anderson 4, Tusculum nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 4th inning here at Red Emmons Field with Tusculum trailing Anderson 4-0. Trojans all 7 hits so far in the ballgame. 2 apiece by Majeski and Martin. And it'll be both of them batting here in the 3rd inning against Ivy Richardson. Richardson so far in the game, 3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. 2 strikeouts, no walks. Both strikeouts coming in the 3rd inning. She's been effective so far with her strike-to-ball ratio, 57 pitches, 41 strikes, 16 balls. So it'll be Megan Majeski, the leadoff batter for the Trojans here in the 4th. Majeski singled and scored in the 1st and singled in the 2nd.
Anderson, the center fielder, number 12, Megan Majeski.
Majeski, a .345 hitter coming into play today. Emily Hester playing in at first base, anticipating a possible bunt. Taylor Johnson moves in at 3rd as well. So, we'll see what happens here to start this 4th inning. Richardson's pitch. She chops it towards first. Foul, 1 strike. 1 strike the count to Megan Majeski. Majeski's hair bow game on point today. 1 strike the count. The 1 pitch is called strike in the outside corner, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Megan Majeski. Majeski, Grant, Martin, the 3 due up here in the 4th for Anderson. Richardson with the 0-2 delivery. Way high, it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Majeski. So Richardson still ahead in the count, now a ball and 2 strikes. Windup and the pitch. Got inside, and Majeski could do a little more than just foul it off at the plate. Still 1-2. They work her in and out. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Majeski leading off the 4th. Wind has picked up a little bit, now blowing slightly towards left field. It was blowing to right earlier. 1-2 pitch, change up, foul back to the screen, still 1-2. It's a cold morning here, but it's turned out to be a nice afternoon. Temperatures in the low 50s. We'll be dropping through the low 50s as we continue on to play this evening. 1-2, the count holds to Megan Majeski. Richardson's pitch. Foul back again, still 1-2. Majeski making Richardson work here to lead off this 4th inning. Majeski will strike out. She struck out 16 times in 84 at-bats coming into play. So Richardson can go for the punch out if she can get it. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, it hit to third. Johnson knocks it down. Throw across is going to be late. That'll be an error on Taylor Johnson, the 3rd error of the game for the Pioneers.
The second baseman, number 13, Casey Grant.
As that ball was just nubbed towards third, but Johnson, clean play, and that's probably going to be an out, even with the speed, given Johnson's arm strength. But unfortunately for her and the Pioneers, Majeski was safe, and now we'll have a circle meeting here as Coach Hubner comes out to discuss pressing matters at the moment. The pressing matter is that Megan Majeski, an outstanding base stealer, is on at first base. So 4-0, Anderson with the lead here in the top of the 4th inning. The conversation continues. So the Pioneer defense will try and get it out here. You can expect that Casey Grant may be up there looking to bunt. Grant has sacrificed 5 times this season.
Second baseman, number 13, Casey Grant.
So we're ready to resume play here as Grant digs in from the right side. It's Majeski poised on the bag over at first. Not going as the pitch is low and away for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Casey Grant. Jocelyn Martin waits on deck. Majeski, the knees bent, ready to run at first. And she goes. The pitch is hit in the air to left field. Taylor Battle has it lined up as Majeski will retreat to first, as Battle makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So a little hit and run action there. Grant pops that one up to left field for the first out of the inning.
Number 27, Jocelyn Martin.
And Jocelyn Martin will bat. Martin has a pair of RBI singles in the game. She now has 20 RBIs on the year. She also scored a run during the 3-run first inning for the Trojans. Martin, a senior out of Fountain Inn, South Carolina. And the first pitch to her is inside for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Jocelyn Martin. Martin last year hit .397 with 4 homers, 28 RBIs. Her second season with the Trojans. As Majeski goes, the pitch is hit to short. West is going to only have 1 play over at first in time for the out, as Majeski will take second base. But there's now 2 outs in the inning as Martin is retired for the first time
Puts
today.
away to catcher, number 7, Maddie Hamilton.
Maddie Hamilton will come in to bat. Hamilton doubled home a run and scored in the first, and popped up with the bases loaded in the second. Anderson had a chance to blow this game wide open, but left the bases loaded with 1 out. So Majeski now in scoring position, as Richardson will try to retire Hamilton for the second straight inning, or the second straight at bat. And she hits it in the hole for a base hit. Battle has it quickly. Majeski rounds third, and she'll slam on the brakes as Battle got to it quickly, got it to West. Will run it back to the circle. So a base hit for Hamilton. She's now 2 for 3, and Majeski moves to third.
The designated player, number 18.
For the designated player, Kaysen Boatner.
Kaysen Boatner.
Boatner has popped up twice, both times to second base, Brittany France. So Boatner batting with runners at the corners and 2 outs here in the fourth. Wind up in the first pitch to her. It's outside for a ball, 1-0. Boatner out of Fortson, Georgia, a freshman. Hit 30 home runs last year as a senior. One ball and no strikes to her. The pitch hit to third. Tough hop, goes to West, throw across, is in time for the out. The ball goes off Johnson to West, over to Hester, in time for the out. Way to stick with it there by Sammy West, as that hop came to her perfectly, and the throw across in time to retire the side. No runs, a hit, an error, and 2 left. At the end of 3.5 innings, it is Anderson 4, Tusculum nothing on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
Bottom of the 4th here at Red Emmons Field, with Tusculum trailing Anderson by a score of 4-0. As the Pioneers escaped trouble in that to end that 4th inning on the ground ball by Boatner that went off of Taylor Johnson to shortstop Sammy West, and the throw across in time got Boatner by a half step. Taylor Battle will lead off for the Pioneers here in the 4th. She struck out her first time up. Tusculum still looking for their first hit of the game against starter Harley Duncan. First pitch. There it is. Base hit to left field, and it gets past the left fielder, Belcher, and goes all the way to the fence. Battle can fly. She's around second. She's on her way to third, and she'll drop anchor there with a triple. A leadoff triple for Taylor Battle. Her 14th career three-base hit. And just like that, the Pioneers have a runner in scoring position.
Now batting. It's the first baseman, number 21, Emily.
Battle hit that one on a line, and it just kept on going and found the gap. That was the third triple this season for Battle. And now Emily Hester will bat. Hester grounded into a double play her first time up. That pitch is low and away for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Emily Hester. Hester with 5 home runs this year, 15 runs batted in. Duncan's pitch. Lined to right center field. That'll be in for a base hit, and the Pioneers are on the board. Majeski will get it back into the infield as it's an RBI single for Emily Hester. Her 16th RBI of the year as Battle scores, and the Pioneers have cut the margin to 4-1. Alexis Gramp will bat. Gramp grounded out to second her first time up. Gramp with 4 home runs on the season. That RBI by Hester, her 16th of the year, tying Gramp for the team lead. First pitch to Gramp is inside for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. So it's a 4-1 game here in the fourth. Duncan's pitch is there for a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike to count to Alexis Gramp. 1-1 pitch, outside, 2-1. Mars Hill has beaten Kings 7-2 in a non-conference game. So the earlier conference finals, Queens beat Catawba 9-4 and Wingate beat Newberry 9-6. They will each have game 2 of their respective doubleheaders. That ball's hit to third, might be 2. Throw to second is a wild throw, and everybody's safe. Haggerty had the ball and thought about going around the horn for a double play. Winds up getting nobody as the throw is errant at second base. Unable to come up with it is Grant. Everybody's safe. First error of the game for the Trojans. Now the Pioneers have runners at first and second, nobody out for Grayson Brown, the designated player. Brown lined out to second her first time up. Brown with a couple of home runs this season. She went deep at Francis Marion back on March the 3rd and then homered here against New Haven on March the 7th. Both of them were solo homers. And we'll have a runner at second base. That is going to be Tori West running for Hester. Hester will come back in through re-entry rule.
Running at second base for the Pioneers, number 26, Tori West. Now stepping to play.
So Brown batting with runners at first and second, nobody out. We'll see if they decide to put a bunt on here and get these runners over. With Taylor Johnson waiting on deck. And there's the bunt. It's a good one down to third. Haggerty throw over to Grant covering at first is in time for the out. So Brown does her job, moving the runners along to third and second. And that'll bring up Taylor Johnson, the third baseman.
The third baseman, number 20, Taylor Johnson.
Johnson walked her first time up. First pitch to her is on the outside corner for a strike. 1 strike to count to Taylor Johnson, batting with Tori West, the pinch runner at third base, and Alexis Gramp at second. 1 out here in the fourth. Pitch. Lowe gets through the catcher, Hamilton. Here comes West to try and score. The throw goes off the glove of the pitcher, Duncan, covering, and West is safe. That's a wild pitch, and that'll be another run for the Pioneers, make it 4-2. Gramp takes third on the play as that ball in the dirt just slithered through the catcher, Hamilton. Didn't get very far away from the plate, but West able to get in there as the throw, as the ball, Hamilton retrieves it quickly. Her throw was a quick one, and Duncan, if she catches the ball, she probably has West at the plate, but the ball goes off her glove, and safe is Tori West to make it a 4-2 game. Runner at third down with one out. Johnson hits one foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 4-2 as the Pioneers have scored twice here in this fourth inning. Cut this deficit in half. As the error on the fielder's choice winds up helping the Pioneers get a second run here. Johnson will try and hit a fly ball to get that run home. Change up high, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Taylor Johnson. Anna Alloway, the right fielder, waits on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Chopped to first. Martin bobbles it, has no play. Everybody's safe. That'll be an error on Martin. Gramp holds it third with the wise anticipation that if Martin makes the play, she's not going to score. And then the ball never got far enough away from Martin for Johnson to go anywhere. So Alloway now bats with runners at first and third and 1 out. Second error of the inning for the Trojans. 5 errors between the two teams in this first game of this doubleheader. Alloway flied out to center her first time up. First pitch to her. High and away for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Anna Alloway, the sophomore out of Louisville, Tennessee. Went to Maryville High School. And she'll step back in the box here to face Duncan. The 1-0 pitch. Up and in, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Anna Alloway. Alloway with a home run, 9 RBIs. That wind now blowing out to left. She can get one up in the air. She can get one over the fence. 2-0 pitch. That's going to be out in the air and over the fence, but out of play behind the Anderson dugout. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike the count to Anna Alloway. The 2-1 pitch. Line, base hit into left center field. In to score is Gramp as the ball goes all the way to the fence. Coming around third is Taylor Johnson. She will score standing, and the Pioneers have tied it. 4 runs in the inning on a 2-run double there by Anna Alloway, and we are deadlocked at 4. As Alloway delivers, driving in Gramp and Johnson, and we are tied 4-4. The Pioneers, who had been held without a hit through 3 innings, break through here in the 4th. They've tied it at 4. Emma Casey will bat. Casey lined out to center her first time up. So a sudden outburst here in this inning for the Pioneers as they have fought their way back to a tie, 4-4. All these runs except the first one will be unearned because of the errors. Fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 earned run goes against Duncan's record. The rest of the runs will be unearned. But they're on the board nevertheless, 4-4. 1 out here in the 4th. Pitch low and in. It's a wild pitch. Goes to the backstop. As scampering over to third base is Alloway. Second wild pitch of the inning thrown by Duncan. And just like that, the Pioneers have the go-ahead run at third base. 2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Emma Casey. The pitch in the dirt, 3-1. We said Anderson does not go very deep in pitching. Duncan has thrown 11 complete games and 13 starts. Their Game 2 pitcher, Kayla Pepper, has completed all of her starts this season. 3-1 pitches there for a strike, 3-2. So in 26 games, Anderson's only gone to the bullpen twice. 4-4 the score here. Full count to Emma Casey, the pitch. Outside ball 4. And Brittany France will bat. France fly to center her first time up.
Second baseman, number 13, Brittany France.
And she bats with runners at the corners. And now we'll have a circle conference here by the Trojan infielders. So we'll discuss what happens here. Casey on at first, not a base stealer. So the chances that there would be a stolen base attempt are slim. Of course, there are some pinch runners on the Pioneer bench. Coach Hubner not afraid to deploy pinch runners strategically. We've already seen Tori West in this inning. Also have Grace Jones, Emily White, and I guess Morgan Mahaffey would be available as a pinch runner as well. Usually starting in center field, but on the bench for this one. So France will bat with runners at first and third, 1 out, 4 runs in the inning for the Pioneers. We are tied at 4. Duncan with the first pitch. High and away, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes to count to Brittany France. 1-0 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Hamilton. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Brittany France. The windup and the 2-0 pitch. Inside, 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes, the count to Brittany France. Sammy West, the leadoff hitter, waits on deck. There's no activity in the Anderson bullpen. The 3-0 pitch. Low ball 4, bases loaded. Back-to-back walks by Duncan. She's walked 4 in the ball game, and the Pioneers had the bases loaded for Sammy West. West has walked and flied out, and here comes head coach Tommy Hewitt to have a discussion. As the Pioneers have the bases loaded for Sammy West. West with the bases loaded this year, 1 for 2. So big spot here for West, who's come up with some big hits this year. West would definitely be one of the players that Coach Hubner would want to have batting in this particular spot. West recently had 4 straight 2-hit games. So batting with the bases loaded. Alloway, Casey, and France, the runners. The first pitch. It's on the outside corner, strike 1. West went 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs against Bloomsburg last Wednesday after going 2 for 3 in game 1 of that doubleheader. 1 strike to count to Sammy West. Pitch. Line to first. It's a fair ball, and it's going to go down the right field line. Alloway scores. Around third comes Casey. She'll score as well. On at first with a 2-run single is Sammy West, and the Pioneers have the lead 6-4. That ball was lined towards first, and Martin got a glove on it, but it goes off her glove into foul territory as the runners score. 2 of the runners score. So a 2-run single by Sammy West. And the Pioneers have taken a 6-4 lead. 6-4 here in the fourth inning as West takes second on the pitch that is taken for a ball by Taylor Battle. Battle is struck out. One ball and no strikes to count. Want to know the count to Battle. Runners at second and third. She hits one towards short. Charging is the shortstop, Charter. She collects it and just puts it in her back pocket. It's a base hit, an infield single for Taylor Battle, and the bases are loaded for Emily Hester, who will re-enter the game as she was run for earlier. As Tusculum is now, this will be the 11th batter to come to the plate in this inning. And now we're going to see some bullpen activity for the Trojans. That looks like it'll be Kayla Pepper, I believe. Check that. That is that's Boatner. Boatner, who's their other pitcher. She's only pitched once this season, but she's going to get down and warm up. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Emily Hester. Bases loaded. France at third, West at second, Battle at first. 5 hits in the inning for the Pioneers, also 2 walks, 2 errors. The only out in the inning was a sacrifice. The 1-0 pitch to Hester. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Quite honestly, this came out of nowhere as Duncan cruised through the first 3 innings, and then everything broke loose here in the fourth. That's a strike. 2 balls and a strike to Emily Hester. Two balls and 1 strike. The 1 out, bases loaded. 2-1 pitch. Inside corner, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Hester. So Duncan, after falling behind 2-0, has leveled the count at 2-2. The windup, the 2-2 pitch. Hit to left field, hit pretty well. Going back is Belcher to the track, to the wall, it's gone! A grand slam home run by Emily Hester. Then the Pioneers have scored 10 in the inning and lead it 10-4. Hester's 6th home run of the season clears the bases. (10-4) Pioneers as Emily Hester unloads the bases with a grand slam home run, and it's a 10-run inning for the Pioneers.
The center fielder, number 44, Alexis Graham. That's a hit, right? Yes, that's it.
So Hester now with 6 home runs on the season. She's driven in 5 in this inning. As Alexis Gramp bats, Gramp reached on a fielder's choice error and eventually scored. Pitch is swung and a miss, strike 1. What a swing here in this ball game, as the Pioneers have scored 10 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning and lead it 10-4. Emily Hester with that grand slam, her 22nd career home run. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Alexis Gramp. Duncan with the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, 2-1. Again, all of these runs, with the exception of the first run of the inning for the Pioneers, are unearned, as those 2 errors by the Trojan defense have been very costly. 3 balls and a strike to count now to Alexis Gramp, with Grayson Brown, the designated player, waiting on deck. Still only 1 out in the inning. The only out was a sacrifice by Brown. So even the out was a productive one. The 3-1 pitch to Gramp. Low and outside. Corner, strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Gramp. She showed an eye there that May or may not have been accurate. 3-2 pitch. That's outside. That's ball 4. Gramp is on with a walk. 3rd walk of the inning by Duncan. 5th walk of the game.
The designated player, number 30, Grayson Brown.
And Duncan is going to get a visit from Hamilton. So, this inning has gone triple, single, fielder's choice error, sacrifice, error, double, walk, walk, single, single, grand slam, walk. Add it all up, 10 runs in the inning. We discovered that you can't put 10 runs on an inning on our new scoreboard. So that big old 0 in the 4th is a 10. But it's 10 on the runs column, and that's all that matters. 10-4. Pioneers with the lead. Grayson Brown at the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice, and she takes that one high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 10-4 Pioneers here in the 4th. The 1-0 pitch. Popped up shallow left field. Belcher in and makes the catch for the 2nd out. So 2 down for Taylor Johnson, the 3rd baseman. Johnson has walked and reached on an error.
The 3rd baseman, number 20, Taylor Johnson.
And now it's time to play everybody's favorite game. When's the last time we scored 10 runs in an inning? That one's hit to right center field, hit pretty well. Majeski is over and makes the catch on the run as sliding out of the way is Williams, and that will end this 4th inning. For the Pioneers in the inning, 10 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. 4 complete here at Red Edmonds Field, and it's changed for the home team. Tusculum 10, Anderson 4 on the Pioneers Sports Network.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee, here at Pierce Farms, and the Pierce family has been working with Ingalls for over 30 years. It means a great deal supplying produce as a local farmer. It really touches base knowing that we're just simple people just trying to help, and we love what we do, and Ingalls is a huge part of helping us do it. Farming is who we are, and it's in our blood. God has really blessed us with the sun and the soil to grow the best tomatoes you'll find anywhere. I believe it's really in the soil. So if you're in Granger County and you farm tomatoes, then you're in. Just a great blessing on us to actually farm and be able to farm and to supply tomatoes to people. And Ingalls really cares about family farms like Pierce Farms, and they really care about their customers. We're just glad to be a part of that. God has blessed us with a really great partnership there. They make fresh local produce have real meaning for lots of people. I'm Shane Pierce, and this is my Ingalls story.
We go to the top of the 5th inning when Ivy Richardson left the circle in the top of the 4th inning. She was trailing 4-0. And she comes back out there in the 5th, and she leads 10-4. As the Pioneers put a 10 spot up in that bottom of the 4th inning. The research department hard at work to see the last time the Pioneers scored 10 runs in a single inning. I found it. It was last season against New Haven. The Pioneers scored 10 runs in the 4th inning. The game they won 15-2. So that is the last time that Tusculum scored 10 runs in an inning. It was last season. And just double checking, and that, yes, that is the last time that the Pioneers have put up a 10-run inning. In fact, it was almost just a little over a year ago, March 13th of last season against New Haven. In that game, that 10-run 4th inning came on 7 hits. A lot of the same suspects who contributed this inning did so that day as well. But that was last season. This is today. And the Pioneers
Leading off for the Trojans, the shortstop, number 2.
Batting here in the top of the 5th inning for Anderson. is the shortstop Morgan Charter. Charter singled in a run in the first and struck out looking in the third. Richardson with her first pitch. Back to the screen, 1 strike. So what an inning there for the Pioneers. They put 10 on the board. Richardson with the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Morgan Charter. She'll be followed by Belcher and Haggerty here in the 5th. Nothing in 2 the count. Richardson winds, delivers. Changeup called strike 3. Great changeup there. Beautiful by Richardson. Charter strikes out looking for the second time. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Ivy Richardson. 1 down here in the 5th. Left fielder Sidney Belcher will bat. Belcher is grounded out twice. Once to West at short, once to Johnson at 3rd. Richardson with the wind to the first pitch. Hit to short. West, throw across in time. 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th. Brianna Haggerty will bat for the Trojans. Haggerty has grounded out 16, and was safe on an error.
Haggerty.
So Richardson quickly 2 up and 2 down. And the first pitch, change up, called strike. Taylor Clemens has a very good changeup for the Pioneers, but I'll put Richardson's right there with it. Has been very effective today. This is the best changeup I've seen her throw. The 0-1 pitch. That fastball is hit to right field. Alloway tracking it and makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ivy Richardson. Nothing doing for Anderson in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Tusculum 10, Anderson 4 on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum University is Tennessee's first university. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Students from 31 states and 15 countries have found a home here. With nearly 60 areas of study, Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit www.tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 to discover the pioneer experience for yourself.
Hello, my name is Jacob Fate, and I'm the Dean of the College of Business at Tusculum University. I'm proud to share with you that the programs in the College of Business received accreditation through ACBSP in December of 2018. The Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs accredits business schools and programs worldwide. This accreditation elevates our programs to the top programs worldwide.
New pitcher for Anderson's the designated player, Kaysen Boatner, as Boatner will take the circle here in the 5th inning.
Staying in a 5 spot in the lineup will be number 18, Kaysen Boatner.
Boatner making her 2nd pitching appearance of the season. Her only other pitching appearance came in the season opener on February 2nd against Georgia Southwestern. She pitched 3 2/3 innings in a 12-8 loss, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 2. And opponents are hitting .412 against her.
Leading off for the
7
Pioneers,
for 17. She also
Anna Alloway
threw 3 wild pitches and hit 2 batters in that appearance. That is her only appearance of the season. That also came in Duncan. So she'll try and get the bottom third of the Pioneer lineup here in the 5th. Anna Alloway leading off. Alloway had a 2-run double in that 10-run 4th inning. Also scored a run. First pitch is taken for a ball. In that inning, Grayson Brown made 2 outs. She made the first and second outs of the inning. Battle and Hester each with 2 hits and 2 runs scored. Of course, Hester with the grand slam. The 1-0 pitch. Chopped to third. Haggerty has it. Throw across is in time for the out. One down here in the 5th. Catcher Emma Casey will bat. Casey lined out to center
Now
and
batting,
walked and scored.
the catcher, number 11, Emma Casey.
My God never fails, so I'm ahead another town. Living for the king with the thick this is. Got me like, ooh, yeah.
So Casey will step in with 1 out here in the 5th. Line to third and caught by Haggerty for the second out. Very quickly, 2 outs here in the 5th.
The second baseman, number 13, Brittany France.
Brittany France will bat. France is flying to center. She walked and scored in that 4th inning as well. Pitch to France. Take it for a ball. One ball and no strikes the count to Brittany France. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Williams drifts in, now to her left and makes the catch. And it's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Kaysen Boatner in the 5th. We go to the top of the 6th inning with Tusculum leading Anderson 10-4 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Top of the 6th inning here at Red Emmons Field. Jim Miller with you this afternoon. Game 1 of our doubleheader. Tusculum leading Anderson by a score of 10-4. It'll be the 9-1-2 batters for the Trojans this inning. Williams, Majeski, and Grant facing Ivy Richardson, who has settled in after a rough start. She's allowed just 1 hit over the last 3 innings. Struck out 3 batters in that time.
Leading off for Anderson, the right fielder, number 1, Gracie Williams.
Gracie Williams will lead off for the Trojans. She singled and scored in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. So Richardson set to go. First pitch to Williams. Fouled away, 1 strike. 1 strike to count to Gracie Williams. 10 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for Tusculum. 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Anderson. The windup and the 0-1 pitch. Change up, hit to third. Johnson knocks it down, has time, throws across in time for the out. Good recovery there by Taylor Johnson, who knocked the ball down and then was able to pick it up in time for the out. So 1 down here in the 6th.
Center fielder, number 12, Megan Majeski.
Megan Majeski will bat. Majeski has reached base all 3 times. She singled and scored in the 1st, singled in the 2nd, and was safe on an error in the 4th. Richardson ready to go. The first pitch to Majeski. Fouled away, 1 strike. Elsewhere in conference play this afternoon, Catawba and Queens in Game 2 of their doubleheader. They are tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Queens won the opener 9-4. The 0-1 pitch, low and outside, 1-1. Of course, Queens campus preoccupied tonight. They are hosting the men's basketball region final against Augusta for a chance to go to the Elite Eight. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Majeski. Richardson's pitch, checks her swing, appeal to third, did not go. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 1 the count to Majeski with 1 out here in the 6th. Richardson's pitch, in on her hands, hit to third. Johnson will have to hurry, throw across in time for the 2nd out of the inning. And the second baseman, Casey Grant, will bat. Grant sacrificed in the 1st, was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, flying to left in the 4th. So Ivy Richardson's retired 6 in a row. First pitch, outside, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball and no strikes, the count to Casey Grant. Richardson, the windup and the 1-0 pitch. In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Richardson has struck out 3, has not walked a batter. At 83 pitches through 5 2/3 innings. Two 2-0, the pitch. Inside corner, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Grant. The 2-1 the count to Grant with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 6th. Richardson, 2-1 pitch. Hit to right field. Alloway tracking it to deep right field and is able to get back there and make the catch. And the side is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning by Ivy Richardson. Middle of the 6th. It is Tusculum 10, Anderson 4 on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Red Emmons Field with Tusculum leading by a score of 10-4.
Shortstop, Sammy
It'll be the top of the order for the Pioneers. Sammy West leading off the 6th. She's walked, flied out, singled home 2 runs, stole a base, and scored during that 10-run 4th inning. So West Battle and Hester, the top 3 batters in the Pioneer lineup, facing Kaysen Boatner in her second inning in relief of starter Harley Duncan. 1 strike to count to Sammy West. Pioneers with a 6-run lead. That pitch is there for a strike, 0-2. So the Pioneers, if they can push 2 across this inning, would walk this one off. 0-2 pitch. Hit to third. Haggerty knocks it down. She's going to have to hurry or throw across. Not in time. And that'll be an error on the third baseman, Haggerty, her second of the game. As West just legged that one out, but it'll be an error. Third of the game for Anderson, both teams with 3 errors. Taylor Battle, she struck out in the first, and then in the third inning, she tripled and scored and singled and scored. So she had a good game in the 4th inning. Hester had a better game in the 4th inning. Hester will wait on deck as pitch to Battle. She throws bunt, takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes to Taylor Battle. And Tusculum leading 10-4. Run rule is 8-run differential, so the Pioneers would have the potential winning run at the plate. 1-0 pitch. Battle sends one to center field. Majeski going back as she was playing very shallow on Battle. She's able to make the catch for the first out. Emily Hester at the plate. Hester with a big 4th inning. She singled homer run and then came up later in the inning and hit a grand slam to left to give the Pioneers a 10-4 lead, which they currently enjoy. So Hester stands, and that pitch is low in the dirt. It'll be a wild pitch as West will move up to second base. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Emily Hester. Hester has a 2-home run game this season, which she did at Francis Marion back on March the 3rd. 2 solo home runs in game 2 of that doubleheader. In that doubleheader, she had 3 home runs in total. 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Hester also homered at Virginia Wise and at Southern Wesleyan. So that grand slam was her first home run at home this season. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Hester. 2-0 pitch. Line to left. It is a fair ball. It's going to go to the corner. Around third is West. She'll score. Hester will dig to second, and she's got an RBI double. Make it 6 runs batted in for Emily Hester. And the Pioneers inch closer. They lead at 11-4. Alexis Gramp, the center fielder, will bat. Gramp has grounded out, was safe on an error on a fielder's choice grounder, and walked. Hester was run for in that 4th inning when she singled, so she'll stay in the ball game and run at second base. She is the ball game on the base paths. Pitch to Gramp. On the outside corner, strike 1. 1 strike to Alexis Gramp. We'll have a second game of this doubleheader, which will start about 30 minutes after the conclusion of game 1. Likely starter Caleb Pepper for Anderson. That pitch is in the dirt, goes to the backstop, and now Hester is just that much closer to being the winning run. She's on at third base now with 1 out. So Anderson will have to play everybody in. It's now the outfield all the way in, the infield all the way in. So Gramp has a good hitting zone here. Anything to the outfield would probably end it. Line in the 1-1 pitch. Hit to third. It's a foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Emily Hester, the runner at third base. If she scores, the game would end by run rule. Tusculum leads at 11-4 here in the 6th. Grayson Brown waits on deck. Boatner, the pitcher, your second inning of relief, the 1-2 pitch. Hits center field, that's over the head of the center fielder, Majeski. That'll end the ball game. It'll be a single, and Emily Hester scores, and the Pioneers win it by a score of 12-4. So the Pioneers finish this one off in 6 innings by a score of 12-4 as they take game 1 of this doubleheader over the Anderson Trojans. Alexis Gramp with the game-ending hit as Hester scores, and the Pioneers finish it off by a score of 12-4. We'll have the totals and a recap for you right after this. Once again, your final score: Tusculum 12, Anderson 4, the Pioneer Sports Network.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Johnson City Toyota is the #1 Toyota dealership in the Tri-Cities for the 4th year in a row. We sell more because we discount every vehicle every day. We give you a lifetime warranty and complimentary service. So I invite you to come see why Johnson City Toyota is #1.
We are in Granger County, Tennessee.
Back here at Red Edmonds Field, where it was a tale of 2 ball games, as Anderson got off to a 4-0 lead in the first 2 innings and had the Pioneers on their heels really till about the middle of the 4th inning. And then in that 4th inning, the home half of the 4th inning, it was all Pioneers from there. Tusculum scoring 10 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, adding 2 more here in the 6th, and they get the victory by a score of 12-4 in game 1 of this doubleheader. To recap the scoring in this one, Anderson took the lead in the top of the 1st inning with 3 runs on an RBI single by Jocelyn Martin, an RBI double by Maddie Hamilton, and an RBI single by Morgan Charter. They added another run in the 4th on an RBI single by Martin. And in a key spot in the game, down 4-0, Ivy Richardson got Hamilton and Boatner, the top 2 sluggers in the Anderson lineup, on infield pop-ups with the bases loaded to keep it a 4-0 ball game. Anderson starter Harley Duncan cruised into the bottom of the 4th inning, having not allowed a hit through the first 3 innings. But then it all broke loose for the Pioneers as Taylor Battle led off the inning with a triple and scored on a single by Emily Hester. Alexis Gramp then grounded into a fielder's choice with Hester safe at second on an error. After a sacrifice, Taylor Johnson reached on an error to load the bases. Anna Alloway with a 2-run double made it 4-3. Emma Casey and Brittany France drew back-to-back walks. And then a 2-run single by Sammy West gave Tusculum a 6-4 lead. Taylor Battle singled to load the bases again, and then Emily Hester, a grand slam home run, made it 10-4 Pioneers in that 5th inning. In the 4th inning, Richardson then settled down the rest of the way. In the last 2 innings, she retired the side in order as she set down the final 7 in the ball game. In the bottom of the 6th inning, the Pioneers finished it off with 2 runs. Sammy West reached on an error. Emily Hester with an RBI double made it 11-4, and then Alexis Gramp with a walk-off single. 12-4 your final in game 1. Final game totals for Tusculum: 12 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. For Anderson, Tusculum: 12 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. They left 2. Anderson: 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. They left 7. The winning pitcher, Ivy Richardson, now is 5-2 on the season. Harley Duncan takes the loss. She drops to 9-4. Richardson went 6 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, walked 0, struck out 3, threw 87 pitches in her second complete game of the season. Duncan, 4 innings, 6 hits, 10 runs, 1 of them earned. She struck out 1, walked 5. As Tusculum scored just 1 earned run in the game. 11 of their runs were unearned. At the plate, Emily Hester 3 for 4, 6 runs batted in, and 2 runs scored. Taylor Battle 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Sammy West, 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored as well for the Pioneers. For Anderson, Jocelyn Martin, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Maddie Hamilton with 2 for 3. And Megan Majeski, 2 for 4 for the Trojans in game number 1. So the Pioneers with the win, now 13-8 overall, 1-2 in the conference. Anderson 16-11 overall. They are 0-3 in the league. Game 2 of our doubleheader will start about 30 minutes from now, just a little after 5:30. And we'll have the live stream up and running for that second game of our doubleheader. PJ Green will have the call on the Pioneer Sports Network. Once again, your final score in game 1 of our doubleheader, it was Tusculum 12, Anderson 4. For our producer, Nick Forsberg, I'm Jim Miller. Back with more in 30 minutes or so on the Pioneer Sports Network.